Hi everybody, today we're going to be doing our Chapter 5 population notes. So you're going to grab your packet and you're going to go to page 2. We're going to start on page 2 at the very top where it says 5.1 notes, how populations grow. Alright, so at the very top of page 2 it says population define. And you're going to write this definition. So again, on your paper, it's at the top here. I didn't give you a lot of space to write, so I apologize. So if you need to write it up top here, you can. But again, you're going to write it right next to that where it says population. So as a quick reminder, a population is a group of the same species living in the same area. So we can look at this example of the dolphins here, and we can say that these dolphins are a population. They're the same type of species of dolphin. They're living in the same area. When we talked about populations last chapter, we said a group of giraffes would be a population, a group of rhinos would be a population, as long as they're in the same area. Now, when we look at a population, whether it's an animal population, a human population, a plant population, we can actually characterize a population by several different ways, meaning we can look at different parts of that population. The first is going to be geographic distribution. So if we think about that word geographic, okay, it's kind of like geography. So we're talking about location. So geographic distribution is an area that is inhabited by a population. You are writing down what is in pink here. You are writing down the area inhabited by a population. So for example, we can look at a rotting apple and we can determine how much bacteria is on there. So we can look at the population of bacteria on a rotting apple. We can look at the Pacific Ocean and see how many whales are in that area. If you would like to write down an example, you are more than welcome to. It is not necessary, or it's not required, excuse me. The second way we can characterize a population is by population density. So density is we are looking at the number of individuals in a given area. So let's jump back to geographic distribution. An area inhabited by a population. So we can say central campus. Population density, the number of individuals in a given area. So we can now say, well, if I look at central campus, I'm going to look at room 107, and I have 10 students in room 107. So I'm talking about the number of individuals in that given area. Growth rate. So we can also look at how a population increases, decreases, or stays the same. Now, when we look at how populations can grow, they can be affected by several different things. The first being the number of births. So if we have a lot of births, that's going to cause our population to increase. I recommend drawing the arrow next to that just as a little reminder for yourself. If we have the opposite of that and we have number of deaths, that's going to cause our population to decrease. So if we have a lot of deaths in an area, our population is decreasing. Another way a population can grow or decline would be people moving in or out of an area. Now, I'm sure some of us have moved in our lifetime, and when we do, we can actually categorize that with two words. The first being immigration. Now, a lot of us think or hear about that word immigration and we think moving to another country or people coming from another country and moving into the United States. However, immigration just means moving into an area. So if you moved from Joliet to Lockport, that means that you immigrated into Lockport. So next to immigration, I want you guys to write the word in. Okay, so we can underline the word in, underline the word I. For immigration, we are moving in. Now, the opposite of immigration is emigration. Emigration means that we are leaving an area. So again, if you moved from Joliet to Lockport, you emigrated from Joliet. You left. So emigration, we are going to write down exit. Again, emigration starts with the E, so we are going to exit. And the last way we can characterize a population is by looking at the age structure, the percent of each age group. So if we were to look at Lockport High School, we can break up that population, the entire school population, by percentage of each age group. We can look at how many 14-year-olds, how many 15-year-olds, 16, 17, 18. We can look at how many teachers are, 20 plus years old or 30 years old or 40 years old. So we can look at each of those percentages to determine a population size. All right, guys, we're actually going to stop after this part, after you've written down age structure. If you have any questions, please make sure you're emailing and asking, and we'll work on the rest of this lecture next week. Have a great day.